A good Wednesday afternoon to you. Roger Hill of Weathering Heights, VELCO Weather Hazards forecaster for this outlook period. Looking at the country at large, we can see that the main area of heat is off the eastern seaboard now and has moved mostly out to sea. And cooler air in incremental fashion has worked on in to a good portion of the Ohio Valley, much of the northeast United States into northern New England. That's keeping temperatures a little bit on the cool side, and also some low-level moisture has been hanging tough from what has been some frequent showers and thunderstorms. This low-level moisture is starting to show a bit of a gap and a little bit of a drying out that's taking place up in Canada, and this is eventually going to work on into the region just for a short period of time before a cold front, which you can see about right here, is going to work in during Thursday afternoon. This will trigger some late afternoon shower and thunderstorm activity, mostly isolated, and wind shear does look like it could reach potentially around 35 miles an hour, and that may produce some gusty winds associated with one or two of the thunderstorms that does occur on Thursday. Let's check the latest computer modeling. We have the GEM model, or the Canadian model, on the right-hand side, the European on the left-hand side, and what you're going to see is these every 3-hour increment here. This will lose the 2 hours and then it'll pop up, and you'll see accordingly. But a little bit of moisture being advertised by the European model. This is mostly just a little bit of a feedback. We are looking at dry weather the rest of Wednesday. That'll last into Wednesday night. And we'll stop there. That's about 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, Thursday. Again, we have a dry slot across the entire region. This is our cold front that's going to be pushing on in. Notice it's not very moisture-laden. And as it approaches Vermont, it will pick up just a little bit of moisture and start to form some showers, some widely scattered showers, and a few thunderstorms. So as it moves on in, this is valid about 19Z. That'd be about 3 o'clock tomorrow, Thursday afternoon. And then that continues to push on through. A few lingering rain showers during the early evening hours, then things dry up. That's going to be the case. And then an area of higher pressure will build in from the western Great Lakes and kind of push on in as that area of higher pressure begins to fall apart. There's the area of higher pressure ridging northeast, and it's bringing great weather on Friday as well as Saturday. By the time we get into Sunday, however, we're going to see an upper level low that's going to start to work on in, and it's going to pull some of this moisture that's located off the coast, some showers and older thunderstorms associated with that older front. That's going to be pulled back into the region. So you can see it how it's kind of pulled back. And then a surface low will form, and then that will advance northward and then pull away into the Canadian Maritimes. That'll set up Monday for a pretty decent day. But what we're talking about here is really on Sunday, where there could be some widely scattered rain showers, maybe a wannabe thunderstorm in the mix there with a couple lightning strikes, a couple rumbles of thunder. That's going to be about it. Now beyond that point, as that area of low pressure pulls away up into the Canadian Maritimes, secondary disturbances in the jet stream are going to start to roll on in, and what ends up happening is another cutoff area of low pressure develops. This is now Tuesday, basically Monday night into Tuesday, and you can see the secondary cutoff is kind of tricky, and it looks like it's going to be developing during the week, the middle to the end of next week beyond this period. And looking at the GFS ensemble centered on Montpelier, Vermont. This is Thursday afternoon's showers and thunderstorms. And this is 3-hourly QPF. Then we dry things out, and we have a couple of some mainly noise in the system. Looking at the total amount of QPF, it's not very much. You notice we're only around 1/10 of an inch total here. And even the deterministic model is even less than that of the GFS model before it finally goes up. So it's going to be some days down the road before we start getting into heavier rainfall. This is one of the drier periods we've seen so far this summer. Now looking at that precipitation, we're going to show you CAPE, convective available potential energy. As joules per kilogram goes, this is below 1,000 kilograms, and so that's not really a big deal. But overlaying the CAPE with the shear shows you the situation here. We have wind shear that's going to develop around 35, almost 40 knots. And so one or two of the thunderstorms on Thursday afternoon have the possibility of becoming a little better organized, perhaps developing a bow echo or whatnot, and there could be some wind issues. So something we'll be watching and send out a heads up before that during Thursday morning. And quickly looking at the precipitable water, 850 millibar temperature. And about the top of Mount Mansfield, you're seeing the temperatures max out right ahead of that cold front, and then the cold front itself cools us down, and then we start to warm things back up. In the lower layers of the atmosphere, the wind fields are pretty weak, so that shear is going to come from probably up around 700 millibars or 10,000 feet or higher. Total QPF from the Weather Prediction Center for the next 7 days out, we're looking at around 1/4 of an inch to about 1/2 inch. Again, a very dry period is projected this period here, this outlook period. Talking temperature, what you can see here is some anomalous cool right in our vicinity here from that latest frontal boundary that worked on in, and of course it swept the heat off the coast. There's other anomalous areas and so on and so forth. But looking at the bigger picture here, the weighted meteorological output statistics, MOS guidance shows you running about 3 to 6 degrees below normal. That's the next 1 through 5 day high temperatures. And then 3 days later, projecting outward, we start to warm it up to more neutral conditions at that point in time. Notice we're not going above normal except in the far eastern parts of New England. The 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook. This is over the next 5 days. We have one disturbance, about a 30% chance of a tropical cyclone formation. This would be probably taking a track somewhere like this. Looking at the European tropical cyclone ensemble. So we have this one system that's moved off the coast, showing up. It's pretty faint and pretty weak for development. Gets near the Antilles, or northeast of the Antilles, not until somewhere along about 120 hour out. And that would put it about, looks like Sunday evening. And then this will continue to fall apart and probably take a track around the Bermuda High and then move out to sea. So not a whole lot going on this period. There's a better wave coming off the West African coast. This is a long ways out. This is now out there toward Friday. And that looks like that's going to be late next week. And a quick look of more of a zoomed in look here at our current temperatures in the state of Vermont. Starting to see some inroads of slightly drier air working in from the north and west. It's going to take a good portion of the afternoon for that to get down into southern areas, but we will open the holes and the clouds up a little bit more here as some of this drier air finally makes it in. That is it. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.